Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fantasy Points Spread live stream here. Divisional round of action. I'm Joe Dolan. He's Tom Brolley. We got Kukanis behind the glass, making us sound good, making us sound nice. Hope y'all are betting today because we're betting today. We've got 4 games, and they're Tom. I mean, everybody says it every year, but this really is like 4 really pretty freaking awesome games. I mean, I think the worst one of the slate is Cincinnati, Tennessee, and there is some obvious intrigue in that one. The King has returned.
Yes, he has. Yeah, I mean, that's the only, I do my power ratings and stuff. They're like the 2 worst teams, I think, that are still in the tournament. But, I mean, you can't really complain. You know, there's even intrigue on the other side. You got Joe Burrow, kind of like the heir to this young quarterback class. I mean, him and Justin Herbert are kind of the up-and-comers, these young quarterbacks that, we got Brady, obviously. Stafford's kind of a newcomer. He's been stuck in Detroit. There's just, and then, of course, we finished with the Chiefs and Bills there.
Which is, I mean,
the game of all games.
Maybe the de facto AFC Championship game. Don't tell that to the Bengals and Titans, though, Tom. By the way, I got to show you this.
What's that?
Could I have a more dad mug than this?
I'd rather be golfing. I just have the fantasy points, but I do like that mug. Do you get that? Is that a Christmas gift?
My mom got it for me for Christmas. Yeah, it's so.
I love it. It's a big mug there too.
Yeah, I better load up on golf balls here. Now, from what you and I, we're playing Pinehurst at the end of February.
We got the pictures.
From what I understand, you don't lose too many balls at Pinehurst, number 2.
Yeah, you just hit from all places on the earth there, it looks like. The whole course, if you don't hit a fairway, you're in the native area. Yeah. And it's just full of sand and wastelands and,
As our buddy Tourette's guy would say, if you don't hit a fairway, you're out of the butt and into the fuck.
We'll be doing that quite a bit.
Oh,
we're down there. We're under a month now. We're getting the month out, the 30-day weather forecast from our buddy Matt Brown there from. I was about to say Sports on Earth, the Athletics' own Matt Brown.
Sports on Earth, that's an old one. All right. Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to talk betting. We're going to go in order of the games, and we're starting today. Oh, tomorrow starts at 3. Great. That means I can go to the range in the grocery store. Oh, I thought
there you go. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily like that, but. I guess they started that last year. I think that's like how they do the championship games is the 6:30 starts.
I'm gonna like that because I can get to the range in the grocery store before.
I think I'm doing up some wings, some good luck buffalo wings for that game. So we're pulling out all the stops for that game.
All right. Well, anyway, let's go and let's talk football here. Let's talk Cincinnati at Tennessee. Tennessee laying 4 at home, 47.5 the total, Tom. I think this total has kind of, I guess it might have stagnated. Maybe San Fran Green Bay went down a little, but earlier in the week, Cincinnati, Tennessee had the lowest total of the week, but it's the Tennessee laying 47.5 in a very intriguing game here. Tennessee is the second longest favorite of the week behind Green Bay. But certainly 4-point spread, certainly expected to be a competitive game.
Yeah, all these totals have moved down a little bit. This is the one game that's kind of stayed in its spot here. The money, as I kind of suspected, I didn't give. This is like the one game I didn't give out as a best bet. I just don't know what. I've been kind of fading the Titans all season. It's backfired for a lot of it. Derrick Henry is obviously going to be back, and I figured that there would be some money coming in on the Titans because of that, and it has started. This was 3.5 pretty much across the board for most of the week. It was 4 on Monday. I grabbed a 4 with the Bengals on Monday morning, but it's been 3.5 basically ever since Monday morning. But we're getting that late money here. I think it's kind of a public sharp divide here. I think the public is with Joe Burrow, with these, this fun Bengals team with Jamar Chase, and the sharp action has been kind of on this Titans side that's been kind of underestimated all season long here.
Now let's talk some reports here, Tom. The report is Derrick Henry is playing with a steel plate, 5 screws in his foot, and there's a steel plate in a shoe to try to prevent that foot from getting injured. On the flip side, on top of that, Diana Rossini reports, I was told Derrick Henry will not be on a snap count. He will have no limitations, and the coaching staff will keep a close eye on him to watch his conditioning and comfort. The team practiced in pads this week to get him ready to take his hits. And, I wrote this in our Game Hub today, Tom, and it was just, my perspective. I think Mike Vrabel knows. Like, Derrick Henry is not somebody you play and give 10 carries to.
No.
That guy.
He's a compiler.
Yeah, he's not like, say, if a wide receiver was, less than 100%, you can put him in on third down in the red zone. That's not Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, look, in games in his career, Tom, in which he's received 15 or more carries, he averages 4.9 yards per carry. In games in his career in which he receives less than 15 carries, he averages 4.3 yards per carry. Now, maybe there's a correlation there, like, he's obviously going to get more carries. But this has been a guy, when he was rotating with DeMarco Murray early in his career, when he was rotating with freaking Dion Lewis. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I was even on the Dion Lewis hype train. That was one I whiffed on.
Now, look, the Titans themselves were like, all right, we don't think Derrick Henry is this effective. That's why they signed Dion Lewis and made him their starting running back. And then they decided, wait a minute, we should just give Derrick Henry carries, and that's when he's turned into King Henry.
Oh, yeah, and this has kind of become the identity of the offense, too. I mean, it's all on his shoulders, and I'm with you, Joe. I also think if they had something to play for Week 18, I think we probably would have seen him then. So, they activated him. They opened his window before that game. He's had 3 weeks to get ready for this. The initial timeline was, that 6 to 10 week timeline. We're at 12 weeks here now. I think on Monday. So I mean, he's well past this timeline. They're gonna. I just don't see them easing into it. And Derrick Henry's been working out he's a goddamn workout machine. It's not like he's gonna come in and be completely winded in this game. So that is one prop I did take. I'm taking the over 78.5. I think it's ticked up since then, but
it's gone up significantly, Tom.
Really? What's it sitting at now?
I'm looking at 84.5 right now.
Okay, I think Graham put that in his best bets, and I agree with him. I agree that I thought it was going to open up somewhere in the mid 80s, and now we got the Rossini report, so I would think it's probably going to continue to travel north. And I put it in our little Discord there that if you're on DraftKings, they have an awesome prop, an awesome boost, plus 550 for him to get to 120 plus rushing yards today.
Oh my God! Holy shit, Tom! Look at this.
What's that?
I'm looking at Bovada.
Yes.
Guess what Henry's prop is on Bovada?
93.
100.5.
100.5.
Yes.
That's like the minus 110. Wow. What's his 120 there? Like,
yeah.
Because I was looking, the 120 number on FanDuel was like plus 320. So you're getting a lot of extra juice on a lot of extra juice on that plus 550 to get 120. So
what would you need to bet, Tom, on Henry 100 and a touchdown? What would the line need to be?
Oh, I think that's probably like a plus 125 kind of bet. Well, or maybe 150, considering
this is weird because his prop on Bovada is Derrick Henry 100.5. Okay.
Yes.
Minus 115. 100 and a touchdown is plus 175.
Well, I like that a lot for you, Joe.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it because,
I think there's a great chance he scores a touchdown if he gets to 100 yards.
I mean, I don't get it, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna bet that one for Derrick Henry. All right. Let's get into some other props here, Tom. After talking Derrick Henry, was there anything that stood out to you from this game? When it comes to the Bengals, but obviously for the Titans, the focus and the market is going to be on Henry.
Yeah, I actually have quite a bit of action. I think this is my most action of the weekend here.
Interesting.
I just liked, it's all about numbers when it comes to these player props, and we got Julio Jones sitting at 47.5. I'm taking the under on that. He's been under that in 8 of his 10 games. I missed in week 18. That was his first good game in a long time. But that number was set at 33.5. So we got a 14-yard difference from week 18 to the divisional round here. I'm gonna buy the under on that. That's quite a significant line move. He hasn't looked right all season here. Maybe those hamstrings are in better shape here, but I'm thinking it's a lot of Henry and it's a lot of AJ Brown. So I'm taking the under on that. And then on the Bengals side, it's a lot. I'm skewed. I think this is going to be a pass-heavy game for the Bengals. I just don't see the Bengals having a lot of success running the ball with Joe Mixon. They haven't had a lot of success ever since Riley Reiff went out of the lineup at right tackle back in week 13. So I'm taking Joe Mixon under 61.5 rushing yards.
That's plummeted down. That's at 58.5 now.
Okay. I figured it would have been kind of in that mid-50 range. The Titans have had one of the best run defenses all season here. So I like that one. And so I, kind of correlated. I took over for Joe Burrow's passing attempts at 35.5. And I have Jamar Chase over 75.5 receiving yards. So, the Titans haven't slowed down very many number one wide receivers. We kind of saw it the last couple weeks of the season here and in the wild card round. They're going to feed Chase here. We saw it against the Raiders here. I really like a lot of these props on this game. I think there's some pretty good value. The rest of the games, I didn't nearly find as many props like this, but I got 5 going on this game. I got a lot of action. It's the least intriguing game of the weekend, and I got my most action of the weekend on this one.
Tom, you had a great tidbit, by the way, on the Titans off of extra rest. Under
Vrabel. Yeah, they're 8-0, 8-0 outright, and 8-0 against the spread. Anytime they're coming off the bye or off the Thursday night game. So, this is a Vrabel spot. I did go through the games. It wasn't like they were playing a lot of world beaters. I feel like there were some Jets on that schedule, some Dolphins. It wasn't like a who's who of teams they were going against in those 8 games, but they were still beating the spread, so they were beating expectations. Yeah. So pretty interesting note there. Maybe why we're also seeing some Titans action here today.
49ers at the Packers, Lambeau Field, 8:15 p.m. It is going to be a cold one, Tom. When we played in that cold weather, we was cold. I'm yet to know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play in this game because apparently he's been canceled, Tom.
Really? That's it's canceled again?
I am able to turn that shit off because I enjoy watching him play football. At this point, I feel like he has to be leaning into this.
Oh, absolutely! I love the stuff from a couple of weeks ago that he's gonna skip the Super Bowl as a big protest.
Yeah, right.
That was my favorite one of the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. He even shot that one down immediately.
It's the Packers laying 5.5 at home, 47 the total. San Francisco at Green Bay. The 49ers coming off of winning the stupidest football game in the history of the sport.
Oh yeah, that was the lone enjoyable game from wild card weekend. I hope we have a lot better action here in the divisional round. This line, I started at 4.5. It was sitting at 6 for a while for most of the week, and it's kind of crept back down to 5.5. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it does get back down to 5 or maybe even 4.5. So if you like that 49ers side, I might jump in now. Some of the big injuries that we were kind of following all week have cleared up for them. Nick Bosa was the biggest one. He passed concussion protocol, so he's going to be in the lineup. That's a pivotal one for this matchup. Even Fred Warner, he's kind of a key piece at linebacker for them. He's going to be in the lineup. It looked like he was going to.
It looked like he blew out his knee.
I know the reaction. I was like, "Holy man!" I thought he was done for the year, and he just rolled his ankle apparently. So, then that's good. I'd rather see the best players play, and my bets would say I'd rather him sit out. I got him at 4.5, but we want to see the best players here. So, I think 5.5. I think your chance to get a 6 on the 49ers is probably passed, but it's not like it's a key number. If you want to bet the 49ers, maybe you just wait it out to see if any more 6s pop up. But I kind of have a feeling it's just going to sit here in this no man's land here between 4.5 and 5.5.
The Vegas zone is Did Bill Simmons come up with that, or did he just co-opt it?
I don't know. He probably co-opted it.
Yeah, I'm just like, but like, I feel like that's exactly why this line is here. Because, like, people look at the 49ers and you look at Debo and you look at Kittle and you look at what Mitchell's been doing and you look at that front seven, and you're like, oh my God, this team could beat anybody. And then you see Jimmy G's hurt. And then the one thing he couldn't do against Dallas, throw an interception. He's out rolling to his right. Like, it feels like there's a Jimmy G tax in here. And that's
you're completely right, Joe. I think if Jimmy G also, I think a lot of it has to do with his health too.
Yeah.
Obviously the shoulder has been a big talking point. He's got the thumb issue. It gets exacerbated in this, the cold conditions. And I think if he was perfectly fine and, not on the injury report this week, I bet it's sitting at 4 points. But I do think there's a little bit of a tax here. That's why I think it's kind of in no man's land here. Yeah. But they do have they're probably the one team that the Packers, looking at the remaining schedule, the Titans as well, if they would meet in the Super Bowl. But their one glaring weakness has kind of been their run defense. And the 49ers are right up there with anybody in the league in terms of running the ball. So it's definitely a little bit of a scary matchup here for the Packers.
Yeah, it's bottom 5 by DVOA for the Packers. But, of course, the Packers getting healthier on defense. You got Zadarius Smith coming back. Jair Alexander has got a shot to play. Obviously, David Bakhtiari at left tackle. Tom, did you hit any props in this game?
Yeah, I got a couple here. Trying to think. I have Davante Adams over 90.5 receiving yards. I don't typically go after these high-end, receiving props. I did get burned last week going after Cooper Kupp's 7.5 receptions.
Stafford threw 17 passes.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue. He's still got the 5 catches in that game. But I'm going here. He's been up over 130 yards in 4 of his 5 matchups against San Francisco, and I just expect them, unless he gets the double team treatment from, like he got from the Ravens a couple of weeks ago. I just see them, feeding the ball to Davante Adams here. So I got those two paired in our one and done league. I got Adams and Rodgers going together. So that's one prop. And then I also have Deebo Samuel over 34.5 rushing yards. That one's been really bet up. I think it's sitting 38.5 to 40.5, depending on where you're looking at. He's a part of the running game now. He gets 5+ carries in 9 straight games here. So we just touched on the Packers have one of the worst run defenses left in the playoffs here. So going to attack that with Debo. And I'm crossing my fingers here, Joe. George Kittle, it's happening. It's finally going to happen. He's this is more of, I got to bet this number. This is as low as I've seen his number since he came back from his injury in midseason. It's at 48.5 receiving yards. I think it's ticked up a little bit, but
you just don't see 1.5. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I still like it there. That's still a pretty low number for George Kittle. I think he was even sitting high 50s last week. This is kind of like the Julio Jones situation where I see a dramatic change in somebody's yardage prop. I just got to jump in here. And it's, they're 5.5 point underdogs. This is finally a game where they might actually be playing from behind. And it's not like he's been taken off the field or anything. He's just hasn't been involved. So I think that could change this week. And he had a pretty good game against them earlier this year with 92 receiving yards in week 3.
Let's go to Sunday's action, Tom. And we got 2 great games here, obviously.
Yeah.
Buccaneers, are hosting the Rams. Buccaneers laying 2.5 at home, 47.5 the total. Tom, I'm going to tell you, I'm on this. I'm on the Rams. I got the 3. This is sitting at plus 2.5, minus 105. So it's kind of been jockeying between 2.5 and 3 for the Rams at the Buccaneers. The Rams just a healthier team right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also on the Rams as well, Joe. If you're looking to bet the Rams and there's still plus 3s out there, don't waste any more time. I mean, they're going to be gone by tomorrow. It's all the momentum's kind of been on the Rams side, especially after that beat down on Monday night. If we get any definitive news on Tristan Wirfs, if he misses, like this line is going to go even lower here. It could settle in at 2.5, 2 points. So I see a FanDuel still at minus 118. You can get a +3. Points bet has a +3 at minus 120. I would pay the extra little juice there if you're looking to get, 3 is such a key number. So if you're looking to get the Rams, go find those 3s now, because they're going to be all gone by tomorrow, I would bet. There's been no momentum towards the 3.5. I was waiting to see a 3.5 all week. There was none, not a single one. I follow this. I'm checking in, multiple times a day, just checking all the different books to see if a 3.5 would pop up, but none all week. So this line is moving down. It's just like the Bills line. It's just slowly inching. I don't think it's going to pick them, but it's slowly inching down towards that territory. So get those 3s now if you want to back the Rams like us.
And Tom, let's look at the Buccaneers here. Let's see why the momentum is on the Rams. Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback this season in the next-gen stats era. Matthew Stafford has the best QBR against the blitz. And so that's like the last half decade, whatever you want to call it. It's really good. Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers blitz more than any team in football. This is going to be an interesting chess match because Andrew Whitworth isn't going to play here, but the Buccaneers' defensive strength aligns perfectly with Matthew Stafford's strength. Advantage Stafford, especially based on the way he played last week against Arizona.
Yeah, I think you can take it to the other side here too, Joe. Like they don't necessarily have to blitz to get home on Brady, and that's always been a key thing. It's key with any quarterback, but especially with Brady. If you send extra guys, hope to depart. They obviously have the issues with Wirfs and Jensen. You got Von Miller potentially, and even their backup Wells is banged up here. He looked like a dead fish out there last Sunday, flopping around out there. So, Von Miller, I would look at his sack prop here. I haven't actually looked for it, but if it's a nice plus price, I'll probably jump on that. But that's one issue on that side, and then even we haven't seen Jalen Ramsey he hasn't necessarily traveled a lot this year, but this feels like the one spot where they got to do it. At least some, pick and choose on third downs, whatever you got to do, key situations. They got, Brashad Perriman, even their best number 2 receivers out in this game.
Playing. Cyril Grayson's
you gotta put them on Evans here. You got to cancel out the one big piece on that Buccaneers passing game now. So it all sets up, and we've seen. I put it in the betting guide there. The Brady Buccaneers are 20-8 against the NFC here. Their 6 losses have come against the Rams and Saints, who can get home with 4 guys rushing the pass rusher. They can match up with them in the secondary. This is the matchup that's been trouble for them. So I'm with you. I'm with the Rams here. It's setting up really well. It's just probably going to come down to Stafford. Do we get the Stafford from last week where he threw a perfect game, 4 incompletions, and 3 of them were drops? He was on fire in that game. But the previous 4 or 5 games, it was INT City. So if Stafford can, keep the sheet relatively clean, connect on a couple deep balls, I think this is the Rams game here.
Did you any props, Tom, that you liked here from this one?
Yeah, I took Gronk's number was really high, 66.5 receiving yards. I'm going with the under on that one. This is a number that he's only crossed 5 times this season in 13 games, and the Rams have only allowed Mark Andrews to do it. So if that right tackle spot, with Wirfs or whoever's in there, if it starts to become an issue, they don't want to leave Gronk in the block, but if he's stuck in there chipping a little extra or, having to contribute more as a blocker, if it becomes a major issue, that helps with that prop as well. That's the only one I really have. Yeah, that's the only one I have for this game. I always do a second look here, before kickoff. So I'll probably take another harder look tomorrow, see if any any lines have moved. Like that Julio Jones one started at like 43.5, and I was thinking about betting the under, and it got bet up to 47.5. So it was time to hit that one. So I'll go back and look, if like the Mike Evans one is for whatever reason in like the mid 70s or something tomorrow, I'll be betting the under on that one. So we'll see where I'll take a second look to see if these lines move in any directions that would be appealing to me.
Tom, the other game that I am on the money line. I have Buffalo plus 120 to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They are currently 1.5 underdogs in Arrowhead Stadium. 54 the total. Tom, I don't know. In the Mahomes-Reed era, I can't imagine there is a whole lot of instances of the Chiefs laying less than this at home.
Well, it was this matchup earlier this year, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Who won that game?
Buffalo by a lot.
Yeah, that was Bills by 18 in that game. That's I don't have it off the top of my head, but I know that game. This is the same exact situation. Everybody wanted that line to be 3. The books, they know that the Bills are the better team. They put the line at 2.5 in that game, and they clearly won. And this time around, they did the same thing. I was checking the books Sunday night. All right, give me some +3s. Give me a +3. No +3s all damn week on the Bills. It's moved down. It's sitting 1.5. All the momentum seems to be on that Bills side, which is a little scary. I hate being with everybody, especially, I think it's going to be more of a public side, but I watch it with my own eyes. The Bills, they feel like a bit of a, the team to beat right now, at least in the AFC. We'll see about, the Packers on the NFC, but I have the stat in my betting guide there. All 12 of their wins have come by double digits. I mean, they have just, suffocated teams whenever they've had the lead. And, 5 of their 6 losses have been one-score game. They've been tight, haven't been able to pull out some of those games, but they've really, strangled teams whenever they've had the chance. So I love, I don't know. I might actually, I would get a piece of the spread too. The money line value is kind of gone. I'm looking at DraftKings. It's -105 for the money line. There's a +110 out there on FanDuel as well. I actually think there might be a little bit more value just taking the 1.5 with laying -110. But if you're going to bet that you want to have a little bit of piece of the money line, but I think actually taking the points right now has actually a little bit more value with the money line. They're just so low right now.
Yeah. And Tom, the problem here is with this is, I mean, the Chiefs are playing better football than they were earlier in the season when Buffalo blew them out. But I mean, I just think Buffalo's the better team right now. So I'm going to stick with the Bills. Any props that you like in this game?
I also jumped on the over in this game. It's 53.5 at some places like FanDuel and BetMGM. It was up at 55 for a touch. I'm sure that was all sharp money that's kind of driven this down. But anytime the Bills have taken on another top offense, the 5 of the 6 games have gone over the total, with the lone exception being that Patriots game in the windstorm in Week 13. So I do like the over here. We saw the Bills didn't punt last week. The Chiefs rattled off 6 touchdowns in a row against the Steelers defense once they got it going. So I also do like the over 53.5. I added that to the best bets this morning. So you could do a little parlay with the Bills and Chiefs on that. Bills and the over on that one if you like that side as well. But in terms of props, I did take Cole Beasley under his number. It was 29.5 earlier this week. I think it has ticked down a little bit.
27.5 I'm showing.
Yeah, he ran 8 routes last week. They've been, ever since they discovered, like, oh yeah, Isaiah McKenzie's a better player. He's a better playmaker. They've been working him into the mix here. So, I don't know what McKenzie's number is. I haven't seen any numbers for him.
So I'm not showing one for McKenzie at DraftKings right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see anything. I was taking a look. I was hoping maybe his number would be like, high teens or low 20s. I didn't see any numbers out there.
I don't see a number on him either. I'm off.
I could see them at that might be one of the, these books, they like to add, like within 24 hours of the game. So that might be something tomorrow morning we might get a number. So I'll continue to look there to see if anything comes out. There was another. Gabe Davis's touchdown number was plus 300 at DraftKings. It's 200, 230 at most other places. So I thought that was a really good value. He's been very involved in the offense down in the red zone. And Dawson Knox over 37.5. This has been a pretty good matchup for him, and he's started to get going here again. It's been Beasley out, Knox in here recently. So, and the matchup's been, the Chiefs are, it's an above average matchup for tight ends. So I kind of like his number over 37.5.
Yeah, and Tom, so you would say I'm looking at a Beasley offshore 30.5. You like the under on that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I got a 29.5. So yeah, that 30. Yeah, maybe that extra yard will be the difference. But
yeah,
it has ticked. 27.5. It's still, I would bet the under. But yeah, if we get much lower than like 25
routes among wide receivers for them.
Yeah, it was I will caution, it was a bit of a weird week last week with their wide receiver rotation. Diggs' numbers were, I think it was a plan to really rotate. It was that bitterly cold. It was basically 0 degrees. Yeah. I think they went into the game like, hey, let's rotate these receivers, keep them warm. So that's the only thing giving me a little bit of pause that the numbers are a little wonky. The route numbers could be a little wonky, but we're getting perfect conditions. That's another reason I like the over. It looks like, Kansas City in January can be pretty iffy, but it looks like it's going to be, no wind, pretty clear, and I think high 30s. So you can't beat those kind of conditions in terms of betting an over.
So Tom, let's take a look at the whiteboard here. You've got all your bets that you've made. Kukanis has it all typed out, so we're gonna.
Oh, I don't think he does. I didn't send it to him this morning.
Oh boy,
you saw him. He had his glasses on. He barely got up before the stream today, so he was just rolling out of bed. But anyway, we got the Bengals +4, Rams +3, +125 money line, Bills +2.5, +120 on the money line there. Packers -4.5, Chiefs Bills over 53.5. I got all my little stupid smaller bets that, my odds boost and all that. I got Kittle over 48.5, Devontae over 90.5 receiving yards, Debo over 34.5 rushing yards, Jamar Chase over 75.5 receiving yards, Joe Mixon under 61.5 rushing yards, Joe Burrow over 35.5 attempts, Gronk under 66.5 receiving yards, Dawson Knox over 37.5 receiving yards, Beasley under 29.5 receiving yards, the big dog over 78.5 rushing yards, Gabe Davis anytime touchdown +300, and Julio a late addition under 47.5. That is the whiteboard for the weekend.
All right, T-Bro. I mean, that's kind of breaking it down here. This is our last 4-game slate. Actually, it's our only 4-game slate.
Yep.
Because now there's 6 last week, and then there's
6, 4, 2, 1. Yeah.
And then there's 1. That's called the Super Bowl. But we'll be back here next week to break down championship weekend, Tom.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we'll do Sunday next week.
Sunday morning, yeah.
Maybe the same time Sunday. We'll just 11 o'clock Sunday, maybe.
We'll probably do a couple of Super Bowl shows, maybe one focusing on props and.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. But we'll do one like late week, maybe Thursday or Friday before the game. But, just half an hour, just touching on the props, and then maybe a Sunday, any last minute props or whatever.
We're gonna throw together the prop contest as well.
We should. We should have a show just kind of going over the prop contest.
Yeah, the prop contest. What kind of happens is you kind of pull them in and score. So if y'all remember last year on the site. Tom and I have been doing this for a number of years where as a way to kind of spice up the old boring squares pools, we did it just for when we went to watch the Super Bowl at somebody's house, we literally would hand out the sheets and you would click them and $20 a head or whatnot. And there's 20 questions. I forget the exact number of questions, Tom.
It's usually 25 to 30, I think. Yep.
25 to 30. And it would be both in-game props and some fun ones what's the first song of the
it's mostly game related, but we do have some fun ones for anybody that wants some little bit of extra entertainment on the anthem, the Gatorade
Gatorade, who does the MVP thank, all that stuff, and it's a lot of fun. last year we also put it on the website and ran a contest to give away some swag and some free subscriptions and all that. And we're going to do that for people. We'll also provide the downloadable sheet if you just want to run this at your Super Bowl party. So we're going to run that. And Tom and I will be talking through that. I think Hanson does it on.
Oh yeah, he promotes it on the radio show. Yeah, I don't know the numbers, but we had a good number of people that like to sign up and are always asking for it. So it's well received. I'll spend the week leading up to the Super Bowl week coming up with the questions, and then I pass the baton to you to do the scoring. So
Tom,
it's a team effort.
The halftime show is going to be an interesting one this year because it's like all the California.
Yeah, it's Dre, Snoop Dogg, it's all like LA.
It's going to have to be like who is the first one to I guess speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take the lead off of like Bovada or somebody else to see what they're thinking for that. But yeah,
does the Tupac Shakur hologram make an appearance?
Oh, maybe we'll have a yes or no. I think it's a yes. I mean, that's gonna be like minus 200 or something on that one. So I think that's a definite.
Does Tupac Shakur come back from the dead at this Super Bowl?
Yeah, is this his that's like plus 2,000. It's not impossible, but it's long odds.
Yeah. So he's just been waiting for the Super Bowl here.
I mean, big football fan, I bet.
Yeah, he's been waiting for that. So anyway, we're gonna get all that together. That's always a lot of fun. I've been running our one and done contest over at my fantasy league. We have fun with the playoffs, Tom. So anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Whether you're here live, on demand, whatever. Thanks to everybody who commented. Matty Daddy, of course, Matty Daddy's commenting, and Coach Breezy calls Mackenzie asleep.
He likes him. Mackenzie, I like it.
Yeah, thanks,
DK,
everybody.
I think he's 3,400 on DFS, so it might be an interesting one.
All right, I might go set a DFS lineup.
Yeah, that's what I need to too.
I'm gonna do make an egg sandwich here. Hope everybody had a great day. Hope everybody does have a great day. For Tom,
stay warm if you're in the Northeast.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, it's 32 down here too, so it's not exactly
-5 in Belfont.
Oh, all right, boys. Everybody, Kukanis, Brolley, Dolan. See you next week.